Frisco RoughRiders are back in town to open up a 6-game homestand with the North Division, and joining us on the RoughRiders pregame show is right-hand reliever Keone Kela. Keone, team just got to the end of a really long stretch of 27 games of baseball in 26 days. Had to have been nice to have a day off. What did you do on your off day?
My off day, I went to Top Golf with a couple of friends and, just kicked back, relaxed, got a burger, and, went back home and watched a movie.
So nothing baseball related. Had to have been nice to just get away from the office for the day.
Yeah, I really treat my off days, as gifts to myself. I like to relax and do everything other than focus on baseball. Try to, derail my mind for a day and then bring it back the next.
Well, the team played really well over that stretch of 26 days without a day off. RoughRiders actually went 17-12 over that span, and you played very well yourself. No runs allowed over your last 6 outings, and in that San Antonio series, you came out of the bullpen on back-to-back nights and picked up the save on both occasions. That's got to be a good way to kickstart the final month of the season.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. I was speaking with the pitching coach, Jeff Andrews, telling him that if the opportunity came, that I would like to go back-to-back days, and opportunity came, and he gave me that opportunity, and I was able to see how my body has been progressing throughout the year, and to see if I can continue to attack the zone day in and day out. In this case, it was back-to-back days, and I did pretty good job, and it's another stepping stone in my development as a baseball player, and I hope I have the opportunity to do it again.
That was one thing I was going to ask you, how that process went of you being called out of the bullpen on consecutive nights. You said that you approached Coach Andrews about wanting to come out of the bullpen back-to-back games. Why did you want that challenge?
I wanted to, because right now in the AA level, it's pretty much prepping and priming each individual to take the next step and go to the big leagues. So I feel, I need to be out there back-to-back days so I can know what it feels like, to pitch on, having a slightly sore arm, or, to be a little bit fatigued. And, that's the biggest thing, because when you get to the major league level, you can be going 3 days, 4 days, depending on the score. And, like I said before, I want to be the closer eventually for the Texas Rangers. And, you get into 4 save opportunities within a week. I want to be the man that they put in that position.
Looking at that second game that you pitched against San Antonio, I believe it was Game 3 of the series, you faced 3 batters in the 9th inning. Second strikeout of the outing for you, you touched 99 miles an hour with your fastball on the radar gun. And in that second game, it really looked like you were almost already warmed up from the first game.
From what my catchers spoke to me about, they said that I looked better the second night than the first night. And I think that, after that outing against Corpus Christi, where I lost touch of my command with my fastball, and I was able to come back and regain, things have just been continuously falling into place. My mechanics are on point. The timing and everything is going really well for me. So there's just more and more progression every time I step on the mound. Mark Connors once said that the biggest and greatest teacher is out there on that mound, and I totally agree with that.
What do you think causes you from time to time, you mentioned the Corpus Christi game, to lose your command like that?
That was actually my first night to go back to back here in AA, and it was more of a mental approach. I had already thrown the night before, and I shut my mind down as far as going into that game. We put another pitcher in, and things got a little disrupted in that game, and I was called upon to go back in. And with me withdrawing myself from that game, I kind of shut down the mentality that I usually have when I go out to the mound, having a lot of adrenaline, being an aggressive type of person. And I took that away, and that was a big learning step. They say, in football, don't ever stop running after the ball until the whistle's called, and it's kind of the same aspect. Don't stop until the game's over. And that's the biggest lesson I learned, is to continue to push forward. And once the game's over, then you can take that mental relaxation time for yourself.
Starting pitchers seem to really enjoy the regularity of pitching every 5, maybe every 7 days. And some relievers that I've talked to, too, just like knowing that they're going to be coming out of the bullpen every 3 days. That's not the case for you. I was looking at your game log. Some days you're pitching on 3 days rest, others 2. We, of course, talked about you going back-to-back nights in the San Antonio series. It seems like that schedule really keeps you on your toes. What do you do going into games to make sure that you're ready to go, sometimes at a moment's notice?
I mean, to prepare for the game, you just have to mentally show up at the field every day. I mean, physically, everyone's going to be there, but this game is full of mental tricks and games, and you have to show up just willing and ready to go at any time's notice. When that phone rings, you have to be prepared to go, whether it's in the third inning or the ninth inning. Like you said, that pitchers have the availability to chill and rest for 4 days, but as a reliever, you have to be ready to go at any moment. I just prepare, just going through visually facing a batter and throwing strikes. That's all I can do.
We're with Keone Kela on the RoughRiders pregame show, and Keone, from a mentality standpoint, when you're in the zone on the mound, are things quiet inside your head, or are you a pitcher that tends to see red when you're on the hill?
Things are actually quiet in my head. When I'm up there, it's kind of just, it's war. It's a war. It's a battle. Every time that somebody steps in that box, right now and forever when I play this game, someone is pretty much trying to take food off of my plate as well as I am theirs, everyone's trying to win a job, and I'm going to do everything in my power to do what I need to do to be successful so I can have the opportunity to play at the elite level.
Do sometimes you struggle with getting too amped up inside your head and you need to calm yourself down a little bit, maybe when the game is in a particularly close situation?
Yeah, you have to look at it, depending on the score, the margin of the score, and if it's a closer situation and say I come in when there's men on base, you have to evaluate the situation before you go in. But for the most part, I mean, I just want to go in there and strike every guy out, attack the zone, and if I get to 2 strikes, put them away, but pitch to contact, I have 8 guys on the field, ready to work for me, so that's the main purpose, is to allow them to do their job, and if I get the opportunity to strike a dude out, then I'm going to take it.
Keone, as we wind down, I wanted to talk to you about the progress of your breaking ball. Obviously, you're known for that blistering fastball. How would you analyze the progress of your breaking ball and your off-speed stuff this season? Are you happy with the development?
Yes, I'm very happy with the development of my breaking pitch. I'm allowed to, not allowed, but I can throw it, pretty much whenever I want in the count. I can throw it over for a strike as well as it being a put-away pitch, and the development it's been really good. Sometimes the velos are a little bit different depending on the night, but it's came along really well. It's been a really effective pitch for me.
Lastly, Keone, in a previous conversation that we had, you do like to fish. Out in Myrtle Beach, you found a couple fishing holes that were to your liking. Now in Texas, I can't imagine there's as many wells to fish as there were maybe out in Myrtle Beach. Have you found any good places to cast a line since you've been in Texas?
No, I actually haven't had enough. I haven't had enough time to go out. Top Golf is right here, right off the 121, so it's it's the quickest thing for me to to kind of take my mind off of the game of baseball. I mean, once the time comes around, to where I can have my own time and the actual availability to go out, because if you go out and fish, you have to wake up at about 3:34 just to get out and throw your lines out. So when I have that chance, then I'll go. But as the season is right here, in August coming into playoffs, I'm pretty much just relaxing and just keeping my mental focus on the game.
Well, Keone, thanks so much for your time on the pregame show today, and good luck down the final stretch run of the season as the team gears up for the postseason.
Thank you.
He's Keone Kela. We're back in a moment on the RoughRiders Baseball Network.